All right, joining us now is a longtime activist and director of voter justice for SaveYourVote.org. He is also the author of Be the Revolution, How Occupy Wall Street and the Bernie Sanders Movement Reshaped Politics. Dear friend, great book. Let's welcome Jay Ponti. Do we have Jay?
Hey, Nomiki.
Hello.
All right.
So tell us about SaveYourVote.org, Jay.
Yeah, so very honored to be here and part of this initiative. It was launched with the help of Leonardo DiCaprio, his father George, who is an executive producer on Vigilantes Inc, the film. Yvette Nicole Brown and Jesse Jackson were also a big part of it. And it's a website, it's a website that is devoted to creating information for people so that they can not only watch the film and find out what's happening, but find out the things that they can do about it to safeguard their vote and this democracy.
So in your book, Be the Revolution, you actually wrote a chapter about QAnon and the Stop the Steal movement. Would love to hear your perspective a little bit more about how we, got to this existential point.
That's a great question. It's a really, really important topic because it has to be understood that this is, and again, this is not about a partisan issue. Neo-fascism is a global movement. This is a global movement happening around the world. And you have to understand that the voter base, the demographics in this country have been shifting over the last decade. The right knows this. Previously, they could use wedge issues like guns, or they can mobilize the Christian nationalists to get out of votes. But of course, their demographics are shrinking. So they had to find different ways to mobilize voters without actually promising them any policies that would serve them, so that they can stay in alignment with ALEC and their corporate masters, essentially. So Jerome Corso, an operative, was one of the first to discover the Obama birther conspiracies was a way to get people really excited. And then they saw that the online engagement with initiatives like QAnon, which happened as a decentralized effort at first, but then MAGA operatives got involved and saw the huge potential, and eventually 33 million people actually believed that in these conspiracy theories that people were like celebrities were drinking blood for immortality. I'm not kidding, this is real. And this was all part of a coordinated mobilization leading up to January 6th, which was very close to being a real coup in this. And of course, they are now pushing the narrative that it didn't happen, right? So gaslighting is always a tactic of the oppressor.
That indeed, I think we're all becoming experts on gaslighting and how to recognize it. I want to show a message from the heart from actor Dash Mihok, who you may remember from the hit show Ray Donovan, a great show. Let's play that clip real quick.
Hey everyone, this is Dash Mihok, actor, activist, whatever you want to call it, but I'm urging you to go and watch Vigilantes Inc. It's a really powerful historical film about how mainly the far right is disenfranchising black and brown voters in battleground states, and the history of Jim Crow and way before that. It's fascinating. I showed my kids. You should show yours. This isn't about partisan politics. It's about truth, and it's about people having their own right to choose as human beings, no matter who they choose. So go to SaveYourVote.org or GregPalast.com and watch Vigilantes Inc. You'll be better for it, I promise. Lots of love.
Jay, you have so much support. SaveYourVote.org has really been able to pull in this great movement of folks in this final stretch before the election. People like Dash and others on this call. What can folks do right now if there's a call to action for people at home? You're thinking 1 week left. How do you fight militias? How on earth can someone like me just at home do anything?
Well, that's a great question. So we've been reaching out to some of our cultural influencer supporters like Max and Rosario Dawson and Martin Sheen and Dash Mihok, good friend. And we really want people to go to saveyourvote.org. Saveyourvote.org, check your registration. Okay, if there's any problems, go vote early, make a plan. And unless it's absolutely necessary, do not accept a provisional ballot. Do not accept a provisional ballot unless you absolutely have to.
Explain why. Sorry to interrupt. Can you explain why to folks? Just they're aware.
Yes, because they're going to try to give provisional ballots, which very possibly are not going to be accepted. So if you want your vote to count, and if there is an issue, you can call 1-866-OUR-VOTE. All this information is on the saveyourvote.org website. 21 states have same-day registration, but mostly we need people. Now that what MAGA has done is they have empowered 40,000 vigilantes to challenge these votes. We must do the same thing. So this is not a partisan issue, though. This is about democracy. So call all of your friends in battleground states, call orgs, call your senator, spread the link to saveyourvote.org, tell them to watch the film, tell them to look at the calls to action, and ultimately write that number down, 866-OUR-VOTE, which is on the website. And it's really up to us. It's really up to us. We can't trust that anyone else is going to do it for us.
Would you recommend folks early vote or same day vote? Is there a difference?
Definitely try to go early, because there are about 850,000 people who right now their status could be in jeopardy. And we're talking legal voters. They're pushing conspiracy narratives about voter ID, about fraudulent votes. Trump has been lying, straight up lying. And right now, they're using this as a tactic. They know what they're doing. And it's really important that you try to vote early if you can, so that you can see if there's a problem. You can contact, you can contact your city and state officials, but you can call that number for 1-866-OUR-VOTE. So go to saveyourvote.org.
And if they say to you, hey, guess what? There's an issue with your registration, or there's an issue with something, we need to get you a provisional vote. I've had that happen to me before, and my vote wasn't counted. I was in New York, guys. So that's how serious this gets. The former attorney general was investigating it a few years ago. But if they say that to you, what do you do? Is that when you make the phone call?
Definitely make the phone call for sure. Write down that number. There are there's 52 million Spanish-speaking people. There are definitely Spanish-speaking citizens. So there's API number. There's a number in Spanish if that's not your first language. But definitely write that number down. Call immediately if you have a problem. But it's really important to spread the word. Don't think anyone else is going to do it. Take the link and share it with everybody you know, if that makes sense.
This is such great information, such good work you're doing. Jay, thank you for sharing this. Anytime there's an issue at the polls, we should really have a number to go to. And I'm glad that you guys provided that, because this is unfortunately not a new game.
Yeah, and I'm excited for LaTosha.
Thank you so much.
Who has been doing incredible frontline work. So these are the folks, Mondale Robinson have been doing amazing work in the trenches. So we're just here to uplift and support the people who are really on the front lines, Gerald Griggs and the NAACP and all these amazing frontline orgs.